Well, Uganda Cranes has finally gone ahead to obviously collect a point away from South Africa. And guess what? It looks like something is really special. And Uganda has gone ahead to master something when playing against South African teams. You all remember that the second time we qualified for the AFCON, I think it was for 2019, went ahead and beat Botswana by 2 goals, I think. Was it 2 goals to 1? And it also comes in from the southern part of Africa. And today, Uganda Cranes has gone ahead to draw 2-2 with the side of South Africa. And guess what? It has not gone. It wasn't really a very beautiful display. I might come out and really tell you it wasn't. It wasn't a very good eye test, not good for the eye, but obviously the result is what matters. Uganda Cranes 2, South Africa 0. At halftime, South Africa went ahead to obviously get a lead, and I think it was a sloppy goal that went ahead to concede towards the end of, I think towards the mid of the first 45 minutes that went ahead to be played in South Africa. And guess who was the man responsible for scoring against Uganda Cranes? It was Lee Foster in the 14th minute, and obviously went ahead to see it that he scored for the Uganda Cranes. And they really looked like they wanted to obviously kill off the game during the first half because they thought that they had done all what it takes to really embarrass Uganda Cranes, to see that Uganda Cranes gets out of the mode to obviously win or really give them the right mentality to think that they can obviously come up and really stop them from obviously collecting any point from South Africa. But what Uganda Cranes did was, let's not obviously concede the second goal, and they really ended the half time when it was 1-0. Then surprisingly, 6 minutes into the second half, Dennis Omedi went ahead to obviously hit a ball. All he really pulled the trigger to really produce a thunderbolt that went straight into the goal of South Africa, and he leveled the game, and it made it 1-1. And then 2 minutes later, Rogers Mato, just I think was it 1 or 2 meters from the center line, went ahead to obviously direct a thunderbolt to the goalkeeper, and I think it really had a swerve. All there was wind, because it never looked like something serious, but the goalkeeper looked at it and it slipped out of his hands, and it was 2-1 for the Uganda Cranes. And we went ahead to obviously play and defend, not until they added 6 minutes, and just a minute to the end of the 6 added minutes for the referee to really put the mouth to his whistle to obviously call it end games for the game. Mbatha went ahead to obviously score a very beautiful goal, and I think Uganda Cranes had numbers into the 18 yards box area of our first third, but we couldn't obviously capitalize onto those numbers to obviously keep out all the defenders of South Africa. We defended poorly, for your information into that case, and we really looked bad in defending. And I think this has been caused by close to 4 players that are not going to hate to be part of that team that really played today, because I think they really had visa problems. There is Bobos, there is Awani, there is Hemakula, and there is another player. There are 4 players that have not gone ahead of us to travel to South Africa that are going to be that stayed in Uganda, and they're going to be playing on Monday as we take on Congo Brazzaville at the Nambole Stadium. But all in all, sometimes when you're playing away from home, you don't need to obviously play better. You just need to come up and obviously get those 3 points, get them, and really go home, and the rest is history. I think we've gone ahead to collect that 1 point, which is really very pivotal into this group. With Congo Brazzaville going ahead to beat the side of South Sudan in the group where we are into, that means Uganda Cranes has to come up and obviously do the due diligence of really beating Congo Brazzaville here. We beat Congo Brazzaville here, we go on top of that group into the mix, and that will be something great for the Uganda Cranes. But before we go into the further analysis, allow me really take you through what we call the team stats and how everything really looked like down in South Africa, where Uganda Cranes has gone ahead to obviously collect this good point. And this is how it stood. 18 shots by South Africa. That means we let in very many shots go to our goal. 6 shots by the Uganda Cranes. Out of the 18, 7 were on target and 2 crossed the line, and 3 shots on target for Uganda, whereby 2 went ahead to obviously come up and really cross the line. 64% ball possession by South Africa, 36% ball possession by Uganda Cranes, 526 passes completed by South Africa, then 299 passes completed by Uganda, 85% passing accuracy by South Africa, 72% passing accuracy by Uganda Cranes, 10 fouls by South Africa. Uganda Cranes had 14, 3 yellow cards to South Africa and 2 yellow cards to Uganda, 0 red cards to both sides, 2 offside to South Africa, 1 offside to Uganda, 6 corners to South Africa, and 5 corners to the side of Uganda Cranes. So it shows you that South Africa had the lion's share of the possession and very many other things. But all in all we needed was a win. All we needed into the mix was supposed to be a very, very, very beautiful win. And I think we went ahead to obviously register that win. It came in through, though in a hard way, but we got a draw, and it came in through in a very hard way. But the mentality of the Uganda Cranes players conceding that goal and then they all go down, I think it's something that we should work on. And I believe the likes of Travis Mutiaba were really not seen in this game of football because we couldn't see to it that Khalid Awucho and the other, is it called Sechiganda? Sechiranda. He's known as Sechiganda. They couldn't obviously connect the midfield to the attack, and you all know well that when Travis Mutiaba is not really having that ball, he's less effective, you understand? But I think the manager got it right with the likes of Omedi. Omedi is one of those players that has been taking part into what we call the active football, especially competitive matches, as Chitala was playing in the CAF Confederation Cup, into that side. And even Rogers Mato, I think he plays in Turkey, and he has gone ahead to show us that he can really produce a moment of magic. And this is what I've always gone ahead to say, that when you know to it that you cannot really pass that ball or knock it down to say to it that you really reach the opponent's area, then at least pull what we call a cat from a hat. Is it called? To pull, it's called what? To pull a hat. To pull a rabbit from a hat. That is it. Produce a moment of surprise like that, And that's what the Uganda Cranes went ahead obviously did today. They surprised South Africa, and I think Paul Put is really going to be excited about that, but he's really going to be furious for the second goal that we conceded, because we needed to be having those numbers in and how he had defended, because he had gone ahead to bring in Ochaya, meaning that he had gone ahead obviously put in another defender onto the pitch. And sometimes I thought that at that point when it was really 2-0, I think we're going to bring in a more conservative right winger like he did to get in Ochaya on the left. I think we'd have gone to bring in another conservative guy, because if we had another conservative player who is not, because Ojera is not conservative, we would have gone ahead to say to it that he would have gone to defend better into that ball that resulted into that cross that resulted into Uganda Cranes conceding. But all in all, that point is really very important for us, and I know we are really living recklessly, and anytime a ball could obviously go ahead and read the needful. But all in all, it is a great team effort, but I believe we need to find means of obviously having a strong midfield and really shielding that back four, and I went ahead and liked the left back. Aziz Kayondo really played very well, but for me, you all know my man of the match, obviously. I'm going to really do the player ratings here, but my man of the match is going to be Kaprodosi. That guy is really talented. He's really talented. You look at how he defends and how he commands everything. He's a special talent, and I think he really justifies why the manager went ahead, obviously, go ahead and obviously get him on. And there is another one who was not part of the squad, known as, is it Collins Kabuye from Sweden? I just can't wait to see how he obviously does the job. But for the side of South Africa, they're gonna feel bad. They are gonna really feel like they had everything to beat Uganda Cranes, but they failed. But for me, the man of the day, that shirt number 10 for South Africa, he's really a talented guy. Shirt number 10 was really one of those players that really stood out for me, and I felt like, yeah, they really have some good players. And he really just came off the bench. Moreover, he never really started, and he goes by names of Mofokeng. Mofokeng was really one of those players that did the needful. But the coming through of Alan Okello was really great. That submission was really good because Okello is that kind of player who really has that press resistance. He really gets hold onto that ball and he feels like no one can really come into my area and really take it off from me. So that's what makes him a very good player. But I believe having gone ahead to get a point away from South Africa, it's really going to be acting as a very huge boost, you know, into the game that we're going to be playing or hosting on Monday here at Nambole Stadium in Kampala, Uganda. So let's go to the player ratings. Watenga, 7.5 out of 10. I think really had a lot to do in saving the Uganda Cranes because a lot was really put up and he really had to come to the saving of the Uganda Cranes. Bomono, 6 out of 10. Kayondo, I'm giving him an 8 out of 10 for me. Bevis Mugabe returning to the starting 11 for the Uganda Cranes. I'm really going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. Caprodosi, 8.5 out of 10 for me. He really looked great and he commanded that central defense. By the way, his composure, you know, his press resistance, sometimes he surprises his opponents because when he really, it's very known that when a defender really gets the ball at the D, a D is that arc at the 18-yard box area, then he's like thinking to obviously hit that ball and really move on, you know, and I was like, why does he do that? But he surprised us and he really holds that ball, he takes off like 2-3 players and releases that ball to the midfield, you know, doing things that Khalid Aucho was supposed to be doing. But I really liked him. 8.5 out of 10. Khalid Aucho, 6 out of 10. Sechiganda, 6.5 out of 10. Travis Mutiaba takes a 6.5 out of 10 for me. Omedi, 7 out of 10. Mato, 7 out of 10. Mukwala, 6 out of 10. Ochaya, 6 out of 10. Ojera, 6 out of 10. And Alan Okello, a 7 out of 10. For the manager, I get him an 8 out of 10 into the mix. And who is my man of the match? Obviously, Caprodos was going to obviously produce a moment of magic to give to give the side of Uganda Cranes the best that we deserve. So guys, go into the comment section. This is the African Stains. Tell me your thoughts about Uganda Cranes drawing South Africa in here onto the African Stains. But other games have gone here to be played and I think I should do a different video. But let me give you highlights on how today's fixtures have gonna hit obviously end in as far as this is concerned. And today Sierra Leone 0-0 with Chad, Togo Liberia 1-1, South Africa Uganda 2-2, DR Congo 1, Guinea Bissau 0, Zimbabwe 0, Kenya 0, Tunisia 1, Madagascar 0, right? And those are the fixtures that really got played today. So other fixtures coming in later in the night, it's Mali versus Mozambique, Morocco is hosting Gabon, Ivory Coast is hosting Zambia, Mauritania is hosting Botswana, Cameroon is hosting Namibia, Nigeria is hosting Benin, and that is tomorrow. Cameroon is playing tomorrow, Nigeria is playing tomorrow, but Ivory Coast and Zambia are really playing today. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. This is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as far as everything is concerned. I sign out for now. See you later and good night. But congratulations to Uganda. Fly back to the Pearl very well and will be eagerly waiting for you in here at the Entebbe International Airport. Bye-bye.